Jakob Poeltl could still get traded, and is Zach Collins coming back tonight? What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. So this has been a rough week for Spurs fans and the Spurs themselves. Have we seen them get blown out, blow big fourth quarter leads, and just injuries left and right. But a couple news stories dropping today that I want to share with you. While I'm going over these news stories, drop a comment down below. You think they're legit, think they're bogus. Hit that thumbs up if you'd like to help support the channel, and subscribe for more Spurs content. Let's get into the first story. Report from Sports Illustrated, so I would think it's a reliable source. The Spurs asking for a first-round pick and quality player for Jakob Poeltl. So it appears he just might be on the trading block, Spurs fans. I don't know how to feel about this. He's been playing his mind out, and you don't want to set the precedent as an organization that when your players are playing at their best, you're going to constantly trade them away. Bryn Forbes, well, I didn't see him in the Spurs' future plans. Started playing well, gone. Jakob Poeltl having a career season. Could he be gone as well? Let's get into the meat ball of the story. The Toronto Raptors may be interested in Jakob Poeltl, which we talked about before, but the San Antonio Spurs asking price is going to be a tough pill to swallow. San Antonio is reportedly looking for a future first-round pick and a quality player. I don't know what that is. That definition certainly could be very loose, if you will. According to Substack's Mark Stein, while Toronto is reportedly among the teams interested in acquiring teams, so more than just one team, and I can see many teams in the NBA that could use a player that brings Jakob's talents to the floor, if you will, and in acquiring the 26-year-old center, that asking price makes a deal with the Raptors tough to see. The Raptors have reportedly been dangling Goran Dragic, did I say that right? And a first-round pick around the league, and interest is mounting. According to Doug Smith of the Toronto Star, it seems inevitable that Drago, will be moved as Toronto tries to load up both for this year's playoffs and the next few seasons. However, Drago isn't the kind of quality player the Spurs are presumably looking for. Toronto could move Precious Achiuwa and a first-round pick for Poeltl. Timeout. Spurs fans, if that trade is available, Jakob Poeltl for Precious Achiuwa and a first-round pick, would you do it? I know a lot of you was he drafted the same year as Devin Vassell? It was 2 years ago, right? A lot of you said you wanted him on the team and you would love to have him drafted by the San Antonio Spurs. Is that a trade you would pull the trigger on? I don't know enough about Precious to say yes or no. I know he's younger. Does he have a higher ceiling than Jakob Poeltl? Anyway, and likely hit Toronto could move Precious Achiuwa in a first-round pick for Poeltl and likely hit San Antonio's asking price, but that price seems a little steep for the Raptors. Or is it? If Toronto's going to bolster its front court this season, don't expect to be in a deal with the Spurs, at least not at that reporting asking price. So first-round pick and Precious Achiuwa, I honestly, I'm 50-50 on that. We're getting a younger player. Is he a stretch five? Can he hit three-pointers? I really don't remember his game. I suppose I could look it up, but I didn't. Bad TSR. I don't know if I would do that. I mean, Jakob also only has 1.5 years left on his contract. He's a bargain right now for how well he's been playing, and he does a lot of the intangibles you don't see in the box score. But we do. Zach Collins might be coming back soon, which we'll transition to in just a moment. This is the other part of the story, part of the video. But I don't see the Spurs doing that. But apparently, if another team is willing to offer a quality player and a first-round pick, if this story is true, then Jakob Poeltl may be up for trade. And the reason I don't really like covering trade rumors too much on this channel, but Jakob was talked about earlier this season of possibly being traded. Who the heck knows what our Spurs? Yeah, they could surprise us and make a few moves this season before the trade deadline, which is what, a week or so away? 2 weeks? I don't know. Next, though, I'm excited for this. And finally, something to be excited about, Spurs fans, because this has been a very up and down type of season. Zach Collins sounds like he's going to debut tonight versus the Houston Rockets, and I hope he does. I'm pumped up to see what this young man can bring to the San Antonio Spurs, who has unfortunately been out of the NBA for a few years. Let's get into the story here. This one is from Pounding the Rock, usually a very good source in my opinion. One of the Spurs' big offseason additions is finally ready to play. After missing the better part of 2 seasons and having a stint in the G League to regain his conditioning, there's a good chance Zach Collins can make his debut for San Antonio against the Rockets on Friday, according to Greg Popovich. He should be a reliable source, or maybe he's just misleading them. Anyway, with the absence of concussed centers Jakob Poeltl and Jock Lindo, who both took people's elbows from the Golden State Warriors players. I think it was actually Jonathan Kuminga on both, wasn't it? Bad on you, Jonathan. Keep your elbows down and stop knocking the crap out of our San Antonio Spurs, because you're going to hear other players this way. Don't be one of those guys. With them being out, probably accelerate the timeline of Collins' return. The team surely be happy to have him available regardless. I agree. We need size. We're getting crushed on the rebounds. My goodness, I was watching last night's game, which I didn't stream. Sorry, I wasn't feeling great. And Kelvin was, I think, playing center at one point again. I think he played center against the Warriors. We are so undersized. Lonnie Walker, by the way, is out tonight from what I read, so we're going to be short-staffed again, if you will. Anyway, the Spurs made a sizable investment in the former 10th overall pick. That's right, Zach Collins was a lottery pick, Spurs fans, despite knowing he was battling injuries and would not be available for months. Clearly believe he could be an important piece of their puzzle. I hope so, because this puzzle is looking all sorts of jumbled up right now with the last few games. So let's take a look at what his long-awaited return could mean. The timing is perfect since the backup center spot remains up for grabs. Ain't that the truth? Jakob Poeltl, when healthy, clearly the San Antonio Spurs starting center. Behind him, Jacques Lindale, hit or miss. Drew Eubanks, fun to watch, hit or miss. Thaddeus Young has played well when he's been allowed to play, but he's not in our future plans and wants to go somewhere where he's going to get consistent minutes. So this is a chance. If Zach Collins plays tonight and is going to be the backup center, I got to assume Drew's going to start for a while, and if he can show that he can play well, that spot is up for the grabs. Anyway, since San Antonio carried 4 other big men into the season, but aside from Poeltl, none of them have carved out a permanent role for different reasons. Thaddeus Young is simply not in the team's future plans. Wow, I just said that. Maybe I should read the article instead of giving my opinion. An ideal would be moved soon. Correct. Drew Eubanks got the backup center role early, but despite his energy and hustle, his limited skill set made him lose a spot to the more offensive-minded Lindell, who looked like a viable long-term option for a while. He did. Unfortunately, the Austrian big man has been hesitant to pull the trigger on offense lately and not solid enough on defense to make up for it. True statement. And as a result, has seen his minutes reduced with Greg Popovich going back to Eubanks or even micro lineups for stretches, which I did. Okay, I honestly did not read this article before giving my spiel there. Anyway, the results have not been great, and no, they have not. And there's clearly still uncertainty about who should be Poeltl's backup when he returns. Collins' return to action comes at perfect time, not just because the Spurs need reinforcements. We do for the next couple of games. Had anyone else pertinently claimed the backup center spot, he would have gotten some burn for a couple of games, and it would have been hard for him to get playing time when everyone became available. Now he should get minutes immediately, and if he's in shape, could get a chance to prove he should be the permanent backup. Of course, a lot of Spurs fans, myself included, are hoping maybe he plays well enough that maybe he's our starting power forward next year, so we have a stretch 4 and somebody that's legitimately big enough to play power forward instead of sticking Kelvin or Doug there. Anyway, despite missing the entirety of last season, he has logged more NBA minutes than Eubanks and Landale combined. That's a crazy stat, and in theory should offer a good combination of the skills the other options were providing individually. We talk about what he does in detail, I hope he comes back, and man, I hope he plays well. This is a lottery pick. If he can be just this season, what do you think? 10-6, 12-7. Just give us some offensive firepower. Give us some nasty. I know I've seen him block some shots and play some defense. Be a stretch 4 or stretch 5. You could certainly help this team because we need help. We're getting crushed on the boards all the time, and these micro ball lineups are not working, Spurs fans. So Zach Collins, if you're coming back tonight, can't wait to see you out on the court and see what you can bring to our Spurs. So that's all I got. I went a lot longer than I planned on. But, sometimes it happens. Love talking about the team. I'll be live for the Rockets and Spurs tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully we can get a win tonight against not only our Texas State rivals, but this is our last home game for, a few weeks. The rodeo road trip starts on, I believe, February 9th. And then we have 9 road games. It's a lot, whatever it is. Hopefully see you tonight in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, go Spurs, go!